Hey guys, so there's a few videos and topics that typically I'll skip right through, but recently I realized this is something that I think a lot of people neglect, or they hold on to something that they think still works, but in reality is really putting their camera gear in jeopardy. So let's talk about it. Every filmmaker's been here before. You've got the perfect shot lined up, but your tripod wobbles, your pan stutters, or worse, the whole thing feels like it's about to collapse. And then you realize your tripod might actually be holding you back more than your camera gear. There are certain scenes and shots, no matter what, you're going to have to use specific, things to stabilize your shots, whether it's a tripod, a hi-hat, some sort of system to hold your camera without just leaving it on the floor. Now, there's a few ways to do that. Some people are really big into handheld, and that's okay, but having something on set and having to be able to take it off, you're always going to resort back to a tripod. A good tripod is going to play a huge role in the safety of your camera, the stabilization of any of your footage. And just to break it down, if you're having some sort of, let's say, establishing wide shot, that's something I would do typically on a tripod. This way I can add camera movement in post if I needed to. So that's easy enough. Anything that has to do with interviews where I want that shot to be nice and steady, or at least be able to cut to, a specific shot, even if it's A, B, or C shot, I want to have some sort of stability depending on what that narrative situation may be. Again, anything that has to do with paying attention, a macro shot, things like that, I want my footage to be stable. I can always in post add some sort of movement, zooming in, tracking, whatever that may be, but having that tripod to give you that steady shot, make sure that you're holding focus, and the attention of the viewer is hugely, hugely important. So over the years, I think we've all kind of grown into using cameras that are a little bit more heavier than when we first started. So, when we look at these DSLR type bodies and not rigging them up, they're great. So most tripods can handle the weight. As that payload got bigger, as we started putting cages on and heavier monitors and equipment and follow focus systems and batteries and, Teradeks or, your Holy Land style transmitters, the camera body itself, the weight has gone up. And what I'll do is I'll weigh 3 cameras that I own just to show you the weight comparison, starting with the Pyxis, a built-out FX3, and then an older Ursa, just to give you an idea of those weights. So let's start with the Pyxis and see what that comes in and weighs at with all the bells and whistles on the camera. Now let's weigh the FX3 with a full kit on it and see the comparison as far as weight goes. And finally, everyone, the one thing that everybody hated about the Ursa was the weight and the body style. It was just huge and heavy, but let's compare that and put that in there. By the way, it's one of my favorite cameras, even in 2025. Let's weigh that on. And as you can see, those weights have come up. So for me, these smaller kind of tripods that are kind of showing their wear and tear, it was time for them to go. Let's get into this tripod. This is the Sirui SQ75 with the VHS 10 fluid head, a carbon fiber video tripod that's been making waves for offering professional features at a budget-friendly price. The SQ75's big party trick is its rapid setup system. With the carbon fiber twin legs, and you've got rock-solid support that can hold up to 39 pounds while still being light enough to travel with, that's huge for the price. Then there's the VHS 10 fluid head. You get a 7-step counterbalance, adjustable tilt and pan drag, and ergonomic knobs that actually feel good to use. Panning and tilting feel buttery smooth, no jerks, no hiccups, which is where cheaper tripods often fall apart. I wanted to find a specific tripod that wasn't going to break the bank, that was light enough and, easy enough for me to kind of move around. And especially if I'm doing, these solo interview shoots or going out to get some sort of B-roll or establishing shots, I can do that easily, pack it easily, and not carry a behemoth tripod, and also have those, creature comforts of a tripod that I can just click on, not have to slide in and adjust. Everything is going to be really easy and ready. Have a great handle to be able to do it one-handed and pull the camera up higher or lower. That played an important part. And again, it's the weight, the stability. That's huge, huge in my book. And again, let's talk about when you think you truly need a tripod. One, if your tripod is got that wear and tear, and I'm not talking about, you can always, get a new head for the tripod. But if the legs are starting to slip and you're adjusting them and you've tried everything and they just don't work anymore, it's time to let that go, because one slip of a leg will have your camera flying over your lens. It's not even worth it. So if that's happening to you, it's time to go. If that tripod is too lightweight for your camera package, always look at that maximum minimum for weight requirements. Maybe it's time to go. And it's also ease of use. It's that weight, the ease of use. These are things that you want to keep in mind when you're considering buying a tripod. So if you have any questions, comments about this tripod, please hit me up in the comment section. I'll gladly answer. Again, do I recommend the tripod? I would say absolutely yes. One, for the price. Two, for what you're getting for this tripod. It gives you this really pro-level tripod feel. It's very, very sturdy, stable, and perfect for the payload that I'm putting on this tripod. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.
Yeah.